Let me take you back almost 30 years. 1996, the year that Damon Hill finally became Formula One world champion, and the year that Microprose launched Grand Prix 2. For me, as an 11 getting on for 12-year-old boy, Grand Prix 2 was an obsession. Over years, well, until Grand Prix 3 came out, basically, Grand Prix 2 was my go-to every single day. To sit at the keyboard, yes, keyboard, and tap AZ and right and left and drive and drive and drive. Grand Prix 2 holds so many huge memories for me, and the reality is it's where my love for sim racing first began. So beyond just making me feel really old, it holds a very, very special place in my memory bank. The hours I poured into this as a kid was just phenomenal. It was based on the 1994 season, which was the first Formula One season that I really obsessively watched. I started a little bit earlier than that in 92, 93, but it was 94 where I became truly obsessed and where my motorsport fixation really set in for my whole life. So Grand Prix 2 means a lot. And that's why it's so exciting to see the launch of Grand Prix 2 x86. So what is Grand Prix 2 x86? Well, it's a port of the game onto a more modern framework. That means that once you've done a little bit of basic installation work on the side of the mod, you can just launch Grand Prix 2 in Windows 11, Windows 10 and drive it using modern controllers and in widescreen. Now, the only problem here is that I'm on 1440p, so it's not quite right for that, but at least we're getting a 1080 view of it here. Now, again, it's not perfect, and it is just in public alpha at the moment, and they've got a lot of plans for what to do with Grand Prix 2 x86 in the future. But let me just show you around a little bit. So in the main menu, and this is exactly what I remember from being a kid. This exact menu, with the exception of the fact it didn't have the x86 GP2 options button that you can click there. It takes you in here and it allows you to work on your controls and make setting changes to the video and everything like that to make it as good as you can, basically. But the really exciting thing is hitting the drive menu and finding all of the old options that there were. So quick race, practice, non-championship race and a championship season. For the benefit of this video, I'm going to first of all just do a practice. Now, I've already gone through the process of setting up my Moser R9 and my Moser CRP pedals. They work fine for upshift, downshift. The only thing you don't have is force feedback. I think that is something that they want to work on for the future, but right now it's not exactly critical. And look, here's the 1994 track list. Brazil, Pacific. So Pacific Grand Prix is now what we know as the Okayama circuit. Then San Marino, which was Imola, Monaco, Spain, Canada, France at the old Manicourt circuit, Great Britain, Germany at the old Hockenheim circuit, Hungary, Belgium in the way where you had the old bus stop in place as well, Italy at Monza with the double chicane at the beginning rather than the single chicane, Portugal at Estoril. Europe was at Jerez in Spain, Japan at Suzuka, and Australia in the legendary Adelaide circuit. So in fact, why not let's go to Adelaide and just remind ourselves of exactly what that's like. You can see just how amazing the graphics of 1996 were. And this is, really actually brought up to as good a standard as they can. One of the other things that's notable is that when we get going, the steering wheel in the cockpit actually moves, which it didn't in game. This is the only view you have as well, is cockpit mode. It's a bit like iRacing in that regard. You're stuck to cockpit mode. So let's see if I can remember how to leave the pits. I think if I press gear up, there we go. So we're now in widescreen mode. Exactly the sounds and the looks and the feeling that I remember. Oh. Of course, just 6 gears in Formula 1 in those days. Well, okay, so no, I wasn't quite ready to push yet. Oh, you can have clutch working as well. So there we go. That's a bit of practice. Let's leave that, and now let's go to a quick race. In fact, I probably need to go into the drive options, and let's start like 8th. Let's do Great Britain. I'm going to get lost. That's for sure. Let's go up to Pro, shall we, and see what happens. Let's go into quick race, so we'll stick with Great Britain. Oh, and you can't... Oh, you need to change driver in the main menu, that's right. Yeah, you don't select it at that point, you do it afterwards. Anyway. Not a great start. In my V12 Ferrari. There's Damon Hill. Straight past him. Who's this then? This could be Hakkinen or Brundle. I think it's Hakkinen. Oh! Down the hanger straight. Oh my god, the memories here. Stowe was a bit tighter in those days. Oh, the gravel really holds you up. Big block up. Now through the old club corner. To the famous bridge corner now. Oh dear. Well, this isn't going very well, is it? Maybe I'd be better off on the keyboard still. Where is the track? Told you I'd get lost. Much tighter Luffield in those days. Out through Woodcut. She's got to be quite tentative on the wheel, by the feel of it. Oh no, I've lost my front wheel. Oh, I got nothing now. So that didn't go particularly well either, so let's abandon that race. I seem to remember doing that a lot in the past as well. Let's get back to the main menu and let's choose a driver and team. And I want to choose something a bit abnormal. So let's go with Eric Comas for Larousse. Oh, I've got 2 drivers selected. See, that's the thing. You could have multiple drivers selected and like one driver for part of the race and then switch to the other driver. It was kind of cool, but we just want the one. We go quick race again, and let's just take a look at another track, shall we? So let's go with Europe at Jerez. So for those of you too young to remember, let's do a lap of 1994 Imola in La Rousse. The first sector, very, very different. Tamburello was not a chicane, it was flat out. In 6th gear, I clearly need a longer gear, and then it was flat out all the way. To Toza. Accelerate hard, up the hill, and then this part is pretty much the same. There's a lot more runoff these days. Down the hill. Very different. Avoid the curbs. Grand Prix 2. Whoa, bit of a slide there. Climb up the hill. Chicane relatively similar, but again in Grand Prix 2 avoid the curbs. Next section similar. Before it then gets very different again for the end of the lap. This is where Barrichello had his huge accident practicing 94. But I've touched a curb. Otherwise it would have been a pretty clean lap. So let's just take a very quick look at France. Let's see if I can complete a first lap clean. Lots of wheel spin off the line. Oh no. So the answer to whether I could do a lap clean was no. Frenson's out, pushed off by the marshals, and before long, if I sit here long enough, then the marshals will come and take me away as well. You can already see the marshals in the background frantically waving the yellow flags as well. Yeah, this is great. It's a real trip down memory lane for me. Now, it's not necessarily something that I'm going to play on a regular basis. Every now and again, I might just like a little step out. Now, interestingly, they've made a lot of changes in the x86 version to these kind of overlays to look like they did in 1994. And we can now actually follow the rest of the race if we choose to do so once our car has been craned out of the way. But for us, as we see Damon Hill go up the inside of Michael Schumacher for the race lead, very good. For me though, that's where this video ends. I just wanted to show you that this existed, and for me this is where sim racing started. Okay, playing this type of game on a keyboard, is it really sim racing? Probably not, but it is racing, and it used to bring me so much joy, and it started a lifelong obsession that has led me where I am now. If you want to give it a go, the links are in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop your comments in the bottom about what was your first sim racing game that got you hooked. Thanks for watching.